right, we'll go ahead and get started. Looking forward to getting on an airplane tomorrow and flying to Provo. It's going to be a big challenge for our program, one we're looking forward to. Again, I think both teams have a little bit of familiarity with each other, having played last season at Reliance Stadium here in town, and again, it'll be a good opportunity for exposure for our program, playing nationally televised game midweek on ESPN. I know our student athletes are looking forward to it, and again, it'll be a great challenge. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Mendenhall. Has done a great job there. They got him after 2 games ranked in the top 25, and deservedly so. They've been on the road 2 weeks, played well in all 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams at both UConn and Texas, and had tremendous wins there for them. So this is their home opener. Certainly a lot of excitement, I would imagine, at their place, having it be their first game at home of the season, and coming off the 2 road wins. So it'll be a great challenge. When you look at them on video, and you look at them on paper, it's similar to what we went into last season with them, and it's really what they've become known for: an experienced program, very, very physical, and again, in terms of their stature, their size, and certainly how they play, and that's all 3 phases. On offense, they try to establish the run, but again, Taysom Hill, I think, is one of the elite quarterbacks in the country. He's dual threat. He can certainly run it himself. That's been shown, and I think he does not get enough credit nationally, in my opinion, for how well he throws the football. They've got a tremendous group of talented, big, physical receivers in running backs as well. So they've got some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. And defensively, again, I think that's Coach Mendenhall's background. Nationally, they're always in the top 10 to 20 defensively in both scoring defense and total defense, and it's the same again this season. And then you put on a film and watch your special teams, and they play a bunch of starters in the kicking game, and again, there's a reason why they have success there as well. So again, a great challenge going into every game, regardless of our opponent. We put the focus first and foremost on ourselves and our game plan and what we've got to do to be successful and execute in our 3 phases. Questions?
Well, you talked about the quarterback, Hill. Would you expand a little bit? What makes him special?
Well, he's a junior. He's a little bit older, but he's played a lot of football. He's, again, when you talk about dual threat, he's really, I think when you open up, if there's such a thing as opening up a dictionary and looking up a dual threat quarterback, they ought to have his picture in it, because they list him, I think, at 6'2", 233 on the video, and going back to last season when I saw him on the field, he looks a lot bigger than that. He's extremely fast, so they have designed runs for Taysom Hill, and they also have plays where if they break down, he's not afraid to tuck the ball and scramble, and he's been very successful doing that his entire career, and certainly in the first 2 games this season. So, and then when they have the design throws, he's got a talented group of receivers to throw to, running backs out of the backfield, and he's got a very quick release, and he's very accurate. So it's a dangerous combination, very talented young man. Again, I don't know that he gets maybe nationally the credit he deserves, because he's very talented. I think he's one of the top quarterbacks in the country. I think it does. I think it helps both programs, but I think you've got that familiarity going into this game, especially that it's early in the season, and certainly it's a short week. So, they're going to be more familiar with us having played last year, and certainly us with them.
What do you think is the challenge in short week?
Well, it is a challenge having the short week. Obviously that's true for both programs. We both played Saturday. They played in Austin, so it's a challenge. It's one, it seems like every year you have. We did it last year, coming back from the Rutgers game and having to play South Florida on the Thursday night. So it makes the schedule very, very much reduced. You come off of a 3.5-hour game on a Saturday night, and then the very next day you're having meetings and having a practice and conditioning, and immediately having to turn your focus to that next opponent. So it presents its challenges. I think, again, the question you just asked in terms of familiarity, I think that helps. Again, we've looked at them a little bit in the spring and the summertime as a staff, so we just didn't wait until Sunday to start watching BYU film.
You saw what they did last week. What is the message you give to the team about what you're going to have to do a little bit to get it done?
Well, again, I'm going back to answer that question a little bit what I said a couple minutes ago in terms of it's about us, and we've got to execute, and it starts with taking the ball away on defense and keeping the ball on offense, again, regardless of who our opponent is, but that'll be extremely important here. Last year, I think we got off to a slow start in the game. We turned the ball over on our first offensive play, so we'd like to have some success, build some confidence, and that's in all three phases. Have success early and execute the game plan.
On tape, what have you seen from BYU's defense that's kind of got you scratching your head, or what do you see from them?
Well, again, BYU's defense, a couple things, and I'm gonna repeat myself a little bit, but they're physical, they're big, their defensive line has done a nice job in their first two games, in my opinion, watching the film, controlling the line of scrimmage. Their linebackers are very active, and their secondary is a strength of their team, not just their defense. They got veterans back there, and they're bigger young men. They're 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2". They rotate some guys in defensively as well. So it's gonna present a big challenge. They're very multiple. They're aggressive. They're not afraid to dial up a blitz early in the game and often. So again, we gotta make sure we understand what we're doing and what we expect to see, and we got to win some one-on-one battles.
Tony, with your team 2 games in, have you got a feel for what you have offensively or an identity yet, or what you'd like to accomplish? Obviously, from game 1 to game 2 is big difference, but is it still kind of a feel-out process early in the season?
Yes and no. I think it's a good question. I don't know that we've necessarily shown what I think we're capable of yet. So in terms of what I think our identity is, or how well we can play on the offensive side of the football, I don't know if we've established that yet in the first 2 games. Certainly our performance in game 1 was a disappointment. And I think the game against Grambling, I think we did some good things. I think we had some explosive plays. I think there's some things we still needed to correct. And I think as little as our starters played in terms of coming out midway through the third quarter. So we didn't not playing them for the entire time. I think has something to do with that as well. So the more we play, the better we get. I think we've had a good couple days of practice this week. But to specifically answer your question, have we shown what we're capable of doing offensively yet? I don't think so.
Coach, with going up to Provo, it's a very hostile environment. Like you said, it's going to be their opening game. What advice have you given your team about handling that situation? Well,
we talked about it in our as a team on Sunday, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. You mentioned that going on the road, which we had some success going on the road last year in some hostile environments as well. At the end of the day, and it's I think this goes back to movies years ago. We're gonna put the ball down. The field dimensions are going to be the same, and it's going to be a little bit louder. So we've had to make some adjustments there. But again, it's an opportunity to go play. We've got a bunch of games on the road. There'll be more hostile environments. It's part of the maturing process that I think a program and a team goes through, and it'll be a great experience, I think, for us to get tested in an environment like that early this season.
Also, that environment up there is different from here. They say the air is a little bit thin over there. It's hard for athletes, be on the oxygen tanks and stuff like that. How do you see that being a problem when you guys get up there?
Well, I worry about some of our coaches breathing some of that thin air. I think our athletes will be fine. And again, we've had coaches that have actually played up there, coached up there. And again, I think every location has different challenges, if you will. I don't think the air up there is going to be as much as we think.
The ongoing saga. How'd you like the left side of the line this last week, Travis Cross?
I think Travis Cross did a nice job, and I think played extremely well, had exhibited a great deal of poise for being his first start here. And, you know, I thought both him and Ben Dew at the left guard really played together well Saturday night. So I think they'll only continue to improve.
Tony, a couple of players on the depth chart. Can you kind of talk about the progress Gavin Stansbury made that he's now listed there? And it looks like Shane Ross is also cracked, at least this week, the 2 deep at that Z position.
Yeah, both guys. Gavin Stansbury's doing a great job and has been very productive, very active. He's one of those young men that you say plays with a motor that goes nonstop, and is doing a great job. And I think the more he plays, as I referenced Travis Cross earlier, the more he plays for us, I think the more productive and comfortable Gavin will be. Shane Ross has really kind of been in the 2 deep, so he's backing up Greg Ward at the Z position. He's a young man, again, is in his 5th year, is coming off an injury from last season, and I think is going to be a great coach one day. And the reason I bring that up is he knows all the positions. He knows all 4 receiver positions, probably knows some of the quarterback and running back reads as well. So he's a young man that's very versatile in terms of he's one of our better special teams student athletes, and he can also go in and really play any of the 4 receiver positions.
Coach, it's interesting that a minute ago you used the word opportunity about this game, because you told your kids after you lost the first one, this game doesn't have to define your season. Are you telling them the same thing about this game? This is an opportunity to sort of redefine the beginning of this season, put all the bad stuff from week 1 behind you, or how do you approach it?
No, and I like how you phrase the question, and I don't. We're not referencing this game can do away with another game we had a few weeks ago. We do use the word opportunity here quite a bit. We've got 10 left that we're guaranteed, and this is our 3rd of the season. So we're not looking back, and we're not looking beyond it. And again, it's an opportunity for a number of reasons. We get a chance to go out and play this game again, give us an opportunity to win, and we get to showcase our program in front of a nationally televised audience on ESPN. So, you know, this game is no bigger than the last one. It's no bigger than the next one. It is the most important game of the season because it's our upcoming game. But again, we really enjoy the build-up to each game, and we'd like to use in our program the word opportunity, because that's really what it is. You know, we had, as you go over the course of the season, as I mentioned, the number of opportunities we have, you know, unfortunately there's things that come up. We had a young man injured in this last game, Justin Hicks, who's going to end up missing the rest of the season. So we've really got to cherish these opportunities that we have. You never know, as I stand here and say we've got 10 left, that may not hold true for all of our student athletes in our program. So that's the way we look at it. And again, it is the most important game of the season because it's the next one.
Moving forward with, you know, with John and how that, how you want to, you know, phrase this, the progression of him early in the season. Did you work on anything this week or anything specific that you tell him? You know, not coming off of the second game, maybe just kind of his body of work through the first game.
No, and there's things we still got to work on, and he's still got to work on. You know, in fact, he and I met this morning and talked again about we're in field goal range on 3rd and long, and he gets pressure and he threw the ball up down the middle of the field, and he can't make that mistake. You know, Grambling's defensive back batted the ball down. We were able to run our field goal team out on the field, kick a field goal and get 3 points, but other times we may not be so lucky. It might end up as a red zone interception. So there's still things we got to correct. You know, and again, he's had a good week, a short week of practice, and you know, I think having, you know, offensively, our philosophy is we want to get first downs. We want to move the chains, and that's again regardless of who we're playing. So you know, I think we got to get positive yards, especially on first down, and you know, try to get John in a rhythm early. All right, thank you.